Um, for instance, the Icaros.
Yeah.
The Icaros are these magic healing songs that you learn a couple of ways. One is that you learn the songs from your teacher, and these are the Icaros that they've learned either from the spirits of the plants or from their teachers.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to actually divine where they came from, because they'll all want to tell you that they got these from the spirits of the plants. But then later, if you go see his grandfather, and you find that he learned it from, or he taught his grandfather, I don't know. But I try to learn all these songs from my teachers. It's important. As well as you leave yourself open to receive songs too. And those songs come in forms of, like I explained how these spirits, they sang to me, they sang my name. Well, I'm not going to sing my name in a ceremony. That wasn't an Icaro, but that was a welcome. But there are, you diet plants, you go out in the jungle and with your food for 2 days a week, 20 days, as long as it takes, in solitude. And with some ayahuasca, perhaps, or without. That's not important. If you can get yourself out of the way, your ego out of the way, then you don't need the ayahuasca. The ayahuasca is really, not only does it clean your system, but it's a way of moving your ego out of the way so you can receive information. So a lot of these curanderos diet from time to time. They want to diet a particular plant, so they go out into the jungle for a specific amount of time, and they wait for this plant to talk to them. Whether they will actually see the spirit of the plant come to them, or they will be filled, this hollow tube, they will be given the information of how to use the plant, and how they should use it, and what is this Icaro. And these Icaros are so magical that if, say, I'm using Unigato cat's claw, and if I know the magic Icaro for this song, I actually don't have to give the plant to this person to take for the illness. I can just Icarar them. I can sing the song with Shakapas, and it does the same effect as if they drank the medicine. That's incredible. I mean, who believes stuff like this?
Yeah, you have to try it.
Yeah, it's incredible. So, like, well, this old Siona Cordondero that I was with, that next morning when he explained the legend to me, he, all 4 hours, he just played, in his hammock, he played a harmonica. He played 2 notes, and that was it. And you could feel yourself going from one level to another level, different dimensions, so to speak. And so the next morning when I told him my stories and he told me the legend, he had his harmonica there, and I gave him my new harmonica, and he gave me his old one. And I immediately played his 2 notes, and he says, yeah, those notes are correct, but it's not about the notes. It's the vibrational patterns that you set up when you're playing these notes.
Okay.
Oh, so, all right, so then, okay, so vibratory patterns. So when I finally got down to Iquitos, and I found my first ayahuasquero teacher, and he's got these beautiful Icaros, and probably 100 or more. And I was with him for 2 years, and I'm trying to learn his Icaros, and they were very difficult because he's singing in like 3 or 4 different languages, Kokama and Quechua and Spanish and something else. And,
okay.
So finally I got all the tunes, and I can whistle them and I can hum them, but I said, one, I can't sing these songs. You have to write these down because they don't make any sense to me. And he let me stew on that for probably 4 or 5 months trying to learn these songs. And I said, one, please write them down. And finally he comes to me and says, listen, it's not about the words. It's about the vibratory patterns that you make when you're singing them. The same thing the old Siona Cordondero deep in the Putumayo River told me. I said, oh, he said, so look, it's like, why don't you just sing, at the top of the cross, it says I-N-R-I, Inri.
Yeah.
So just sing Inri, 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 and that, and those are the tones that you hear when they're singing these songs. It's the consonant sounds. And it's the consonant sounds that will vibrate, whereas the A's and the E's and the I, O, U, that's not going to vibrate as much like the consonant noises, like N's, in, you hear that?
Yeah, yeah.
So, in, those things vibrate, and that's why most of these Icaros that you hear are vibrational patterns. Now, there's a lot of people now from the first world have come into shamanism, and they were musicians. And a lot of them haven't studied Icaros. But a lot of them have drunk a lot of ayahuasca, and so they think they're given an Icaro, and they pull their guitar out and they play a song like it's something you would hear from Cosby, Stills, Nash and Young or something like that. And while they're beautiful songs, and they create a beautiful space, they're not particularly like healing songs for like an Icaro would be. They're not a song that comes from a plant. They're beautiful songs, and as we know, music is incredibly healing. Raul and I have had this discussion before, and he's in complete agreement with me. There is a, well, I don't need to mention any names, but there's some curanderos around that they have absolutely beautiful voice, and they play the guitar and they play other instruments, and they melt me when I hear them singing. It's absolutely incredible, a real beauty. But again, it's not like an Icaro traditionally, and I hope this is not where we're going to with music, with the gringos coming into shamanism. They need to learn the traditional ways and what the Icaros and what they are,
yeah, of course,
and not bring in their guitars and things that are playing this. And I've also heard people, and I have no right to really say anything. If someone comes to me and they said they were in a ceremony and they got given this song and they sing it and it lasts 10 minutes and a phrase is not repeated and they're using words, now how are you given a song that's not using the same words or repeating the phrase that lasts for 10 minutes? How do you get that in a vision and remember all that? I mean, I have a hard time believing. I don't think so, because that's the nice thing about Icaros. Usually, they're really simple songs, and they're phrases that repeated over and over again. So what we would do with Valentin, we'd have 15 people in a ceremony, and Muridanga, one of the other apprentices, or Mojita, or Valentin, or me, would start a phrase of a song. And you sing it 3 or 4 times, and then everyone starts getting it. And everyone has a little instrument, whether it's little tambours or rattles or whatever it is. Everyone's got something. You start really soft. And as everyone grows, this song, this grows, this energy grows, and it reaches this pinnacle. And then it's like, and everyone knows when it's going to stop because it's the energy. And so when it's done, it's like, wow, that's so incredible. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love the way Valentin holds his ceremonies, and that's the way I run most of my ceremonies too. I incorporate from various teachers, various things that I learned. Primarily Valentin, because it's a 24-hour session, and you're under the influence of San Pedro for about 8 to 10.
Oh, 24 hours.
Because you get there at 8 in the morning,
yeah,
and you're just drinking teas. I don't do that part of the diet. I prefer that people eat something like you have fruit salad, not something that's going to sit in your stomach and fester like the red meat. You need some energy when you're going into the ceremony. Let's see, what else can I tell you about? Oh yeah, well that's, speaking of diets, this is really strange, and the first person that brought this to my attention was Scott Peterson. And, ¿debo esperar o tú puedes esperar?
Esperar.
Ajá.
No lo entiendo.
Un ratito.